This past weekend, ABC World News Tonight did something they now regret, dropping them firmly into the sights of the Trump administration, which can now point to the network as peddling fake news.
The video in question first appeared on ABC's Sunday evening broadcast.
This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town.
Compounding the error, Tom Yamas then tossed to foreign correspondent Ian Pennell, who voiced over the same video.
This video, obtained by ABC News, appears to show the fury of the Turkish attack on the border town of Tal Abyad 2 nights ago.
Almost immediately, the website Gizmodo reported that Twitter users were comparing the ABC video to YouTube video from a Kentucky gun range. The ABC video also appeared to have been altered. Shortly after it aired again on Good Morning America, ABC issued a statement saying, "We've taken down video that aired on World News Tonight Sunday and Good Morning America this morning that appeared to be from the Syrian border immediately after questions were raised about its accuracy. ABC News regrets the error." But nowhere do they explain what happened. And as critics point out, ABC News reaches millions of people a day.
The damage is already done. And not everyone is going to see the correction on Twitter, which is buried deep in their feed.
An ABC spokesman told us, "We are continuing to investigate."
I'm actually a little flabbergasted that the network doesn't want to be more transparent about this, that they don't want to explain what happened. Maybe they will, because the spokesperson was very civil to me, but he basically just reissued the statement that they gave last week. But once they find out what happened, because they were attributing it to a source. They said that the tape came from a source. I can remember that the short time I was at ABC, 2 pieces of video came into the transom that I had to go look at. One purported to show the mutilated body of Liberian leader Samuel Doe. The other, the mutilated body, remember when that American soldier was dragged through the streets of Mogadishu? We didn't know what it was. And those things came in on beta tape back in those days, or VHS, or whatever it was. You didn't just slap something on the air saying what it was without knowing exactly what it was or what the source was. So I'm surprised it got on the air in the first place, and I'm doubly surprised that, especially in this day and age of fake news, that they don't want to be more transparent.
Yeah, I'm hard-pressed to go beyond what you just said. I don't see how they can get away without explaining what happened. There may also need to be consequences. I'm loath to someone. I've made plenty of mistakes in my own time. I'm loath to call for someone being suspended or losing their job. But you got to own it. And do we know if they gave a statement on the news itself about this mistake, or did they just go with Twitter? Because that's bogus too. You need to do everything you can to reach everyone who consumed the initial bad information.
Well, Tom Lamas, I should say, is not on again until this Sunday.
Okay.
But I'm sure David Muir didn't want to touch it. So Lamas is on this weekend. We'll see if he does.
And as you said, in the political context right now, it makes us all look kind of terrible.
I do want to say, can you imagine being in Kentucky and having that happen down? I hope they put up flyers around that town in Kentucky to let people know
every 2 years they do it.
Because that is a terrifying looking video. But you're right. It's completely mysterious how it would have gotten in. I don't know if long term you can say this is some sort of a consequence of budgets being pulled back. They don't have foreign correspondents or people they can contract with everywhere to be on the scene, and yet there's this desire to still pretend that you're on the scene or sort of show news from where it's happening.
Because that's the worst part of it. Ian Pennell, who is overseas, said it also purported to show, but he should have known.
Yeah, and it was so the transparency also wasn't there in terms of we're not here. This is video that they said we have obtained it, but that's that's very hedgy passive language.
This isn't some random mistake that could have happened to anybody. One of the most important things we do now is verify, curate, and show social media. This is baked into the process. So to say that, well, it's just some random thing that happened, you really can't say that. Like you, I hope what's going on is they're still genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what happened, and that at some point they will present a decent report explaining exactly what happened and put it on the evening news and put it on the morning news. I think they owe that to us.
Well, I would agree with that. And I say that to begin with, let's backtrack. Let's go to the social media people that said, hey, that's Kentucky. How did they know? I'm very interested to know how they
because
figure out.
These right-wing Twitter users that Gizmodo picked up on, they go to that. They knew what it was.
But I'm saying that somebody had to know. There's a lot of video. You just can't.
They knew what it was.
But you know what I'm saying? But there's somebody had. I'm going to assume there's more than one video. So somebody is really paying attention to understand. Of all the videos out there that have explosions, this one was in Kentucky. That's my only point. So start there with your investigation. If they can figure out where this came from, how come you couldn't? For the foreign correspondent, did he see the video? Because that really bothers me that he's saying, as you can see, he did say it's purported or appears, but still, if he didn't see it, and he maybe have been able to add something because he's there, for God's sake. So that is really a horrible situation. Yeah, they got to say something. And I don't think it's enough to have done it on Twitter. I think somebody has to do it on one of the programs. Why we're waiting for Tom Yamas on Saturday, I don't know. You know what, David Muir? You're wearing the big pants. This is when you say it.
Just so our viewers know, there are companies that help news organizations verify this stuff. There's metadata that you can look at. There's reverse searches you can do on the internet. I mean, this isn't rocket science, and every news organization has been doing this for years.
The one thing, though, worth saying is, because everyone's going to come out from the right and say fake news, fake news. Donald Trump has already for as long as the day is long. ABC did admit it was a mistake. There is a difference between making a mistake, owning up to it, even if they're not owning up as prominently as they should, and deliberately putting up fake news.
They regretted the error, but they didn't really. They said took it down after they couldn't verify its accuracy or something like that. It's like, what? Are you still questioning whether it's accurate? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, its accuracy has been verified. It's from this Kentucky event.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird.